Hi, welcome to Marky Mark's Woodshop 101. I'm Amber.
And I'm Marky Mark, and this is the Woodshop! Yay!
And today we're going over Table Saw Safety 101.
Table saws. First of all, here's the best advice I can ever give you. I think they get the idea. So one of the things about a table saw, they come with a blade guard. They all come with a blade guard. Guess what's the first thing that comes off? The blade guard. Of course, we recommend using your blade guard. However, you would be hard-pressed to find a woodworker that actually has one on their saw. One other thing about the blade guard, it has a pawl on it that prevents kickback, which we've got some other solutions for. So, kickback is bad. Depending on what you're working on, if you're using a dado with a deep cut, the chances of it kicking back in hardwood are pretty good. So, some of the things you can do to prevent kickback are to use feather boards. Feather boards are these little things with fingers on them. They come in different configurations. They can be used horizontally and vertically to hold your work in there. Very easily adjustable. Let's get our fence. What I'm going to do with the feather board is kind of adjust it so it's just a little bit tighter than the board, so the fingers bend a little bit. So, I guess I can illustrate it better over here. I'll do a couple of things for you. It's going to hold the board snugly against your work surface, and it's also going to prevent kickback. So, you can also set one on the other side. For the same purpose. That way when you run the board through, the feather boards hold it very snugly, making it safe. Okay, so one of the other things you want to do is keep all 10 of these away from this. This is unforgiving. It spins very fast and it's extremely hard. It will cut through one of these instantly. So to keep your fingers away, there's a variety of different things. These are push blocks. These are more commonly used on a joiner, but you can use this for wider pieces to move the board. A push stick, which you can make out of wood, and you can hold that and slide it against the fence as you go. That's a little thick though. Sometimes you want a thinner cut, so they make them in different variations. You notice that one has a little groove too, so I can hold it on a corner, which isn't going to work here, but you could also use these for your router table as well. So either way. And I've got another little, just a very thin one, because a lot of times I just might make a thin cut, and you can see that the saw blade has attacked this already, but that's what it's for. And I'll use that to push through. The idea is to use something other than your fingers.
And one of the reasons why we're doing this video, you know, no matter how long or how little time you've been doing woodworking, you can pick up some bad habits, and it's good to remind yourself of the safety features, and just so that you keep all 10 fingers.
If you're cutting something very small, a push stick may be impractical. This device is meant to hold small bits of material, so you can put that near the blade instead of these. So there's all kinds of gizmos out there that...
and there's all kinds of handmade gizmos that you can do instead of purchasing it.
Yeah.
And a little extra wood, you can make something. I'm sure you've seen in many of the videos. He oftentimes just uses a piece of stick.
Yeah, and as you can see, this push stick has been bit a couple of times, so you can expect that. But this you can make out of a piece of scrap wood. This I use 90% of the time. So, other than that, basic table saw rules are never put your body or arms or anything over top of the blade. You may want to stand not directly behind the blade. If you do get kicked back, stand to the left. That way the board will not hit you in the gut or other lower parts. Always make sure everything's tight. Parts will loosen up. It vibrates. Want to check your nuts and bolts and screws periodically. Clean out the dust out of the mechanism. This is a zero clearance insert. When you buy your table saw, they'll probably give you one like this. It comes as a blank and you lift the blade up through it to cut the slot, which is much thinner. And the benefit of that is many-fold. As you cut, especially thinner boards like this plywood, it'll have a tendency with that thicker slot to chatter a little bit. This will go away with that. There won't be any chatter. And even thinner stuff can go down in that groove. So this does away with that. Highly recommend. And always make sure your fence is locked down tight when you're ready to use it. So, unless my bride can think of any other handy tips that I might have forgotten, that's Table Saw Safety 101.
I'm still learning.
And I still have all my fingers after decades.
Although one thing I think, as I've been learning, is if you feel like it's unsafe, stop, don't continue, reassess and reevaluate what you're doing so that you make sure that you're doing it as safely as possible.
I have seen many guys that have done this for decades and decades. They'll be manipulating a piece of wood with their fingers a fraction of an inch away from the blade. They can do it, but I don't recommend it. When you play with something like this, a router, a table saw, anything that spins hard carbide sharpened stuff at anywhere from 5,000 to 30,000 RPM, it's unforgiving. You want to be lucid. Make sure you're not tired.
Drunk.
Drunk is bad. So, you know, you want to be lucid and aware of what you're doing and able to concentrate. If you got something on your mind, go fishing.
Oh, and another thing that might be handy, and I don't know if you actually said it, but on the saw blade, make sure you go through and inspect your blades, that there's not one broken or chipped off, or you have any issues.
Yeah, as they age, the carbide is kind of spot welded onto the steel, so the carbide teeth, after a while, may fly off. They could dull, whatever. So periodically you want to make sure all the teeth are on there, and depending on your usage, what you're cutting, etc., etc., you may want to sharpen it.
And of course use a mask so that you're not breathing in dust.
And of course we have our saw connected up to a dust collector as well as an air filter for the shop. So dust is always an issue in a wood shop. The table saw puts out fine dust. A lot of tools put out chunkier bits, like a router throws chunks, a joiner throws chunks, but the table saw puts out a very fine dust, and it gets airborne. And
I guess it could be table saw, but you're going to use different woods and stuff. Make sure, you know, like with myself, I'm particularly sensitive to the dust and everything, so I have to wear a dust mask while he's working, even if I'm not doing it, just in here. But different woods will give you different reactions.
Yeah, some are more prone to bothering people in one way or another that might have asthma or allergies, etc., etc. You can go to woodfinder.com, and every wood in the world is there, and it'll tell you one of the descriptions under a given species will be allergens.
Yeah, like the poplar, I'm particularly sensitive to it. I have to use the Micron mask.
So there we have it. Table saw safety and a few wood tips 101.
Thanks for watching.
And don't forget, subscribe so you can get more tips. Like.
Share.
Share. What else?
And comment. We love to hear from you commenting.
Comment. Oh my God, comments. Lots of comments. Until then, see you again.
Have an awesome day.